We've played a lot of indie games in our lives, so on this episode of Playlog, we're talking about some of the most impactful ones. From the sad, to the happy, to the absolutely downright disgusting. These are our favorite indie game moments. Hey everybody, CGDannyB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. But of course, I can't do that alone because that's so boring. So, alongside me, I've got my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kid themselves, Tofr. What's poppin', homie?
It's my favorite corporate chill, CGDannyB.
That's me, baby. That's me. Listen, guys, if you like games, you're a corporate chill.
Can't believe you give positive reviews.
That's what I'm saying, dude. For context, anyone who missed it, I put out my Eternal Strands review last week. We also talked about it on the podcast, but I had like an individual video that I did the whole editing for 9 yards. The first comment I got was someone just being like, absolutely wrong. This game is terrible, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'll be real with you, homie. You're in the minority because this game's got positive reviews on Steam. I don't know what you're talking about. And then someone else just put this paragraph of just like, okay, never trust this YouTuber. He's a shill. He gets paid to say positive things. This game's absolute ass and blah, 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 blah. Boring character. Sorry, that's just, I'm projecting the other guy to this one. And basically it was just like, Danny sucks. Don't listen to this guy or any YouTuber. So I was like, I'll just block him because I don't need that energy here. But I took the screenshot and I was just like, let me just call him out on all my social media. So I made the TikTok and I had an excuse to use my brand new microphone. So I was like, let's fucking go. But yeah, no, it's just a guy complaining that I liked the game, which is wild to me. The fact that that's still what we're doing in 2025. Wild.
Insane, right?
Yeah. Especially here in America, is the best thing we could do is complain about me liking games. Good job. Hope your eggs cost $40. Let me tell you, man. Let me fucking tell you. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Exorbitant prices?
I have lost your audio.
Oh, no.
Oh, now you're back.
I'm back? Oh, God. I bet Discord just shit. We're fine.
I think maybe because you...
Did I do the...
Yeah.
What happened? Okay, sorry, desk. I won't hit you anymore. I apologize. I understand. Listen, this desk gets beat up playing Marvel Rivals. I gotta stop abusing it. I'm really sorry. It's okay. Just tell my teammates to not suck. Listen, honestly, I went 24-2 today as Bucky, so I'm kind of fucking cracked, Tofr.
Damn.
Kind of fucking nuts.
It's,
On console, brother.
nice.
Actually, the other team were just a bunch of bots. We fucking steamrolled. So don't put me in a comment.
Don't mention that part.
You're right. Cut it out.
The quiet part out loud.
Yes, yeah. Just gotta scare everybody else away. I'm just pro Bucky. Got to get my Lord Black Panther. I'm already Lord Jeff. We're chilling. You try any rivals yet?
I haven't, because I don't want to play with randoms.
Fair enough.
I have bad memories of playing with randos online.
Yeah, it's rough.
Especially since I'm not the best at shooters, and I don't want to get like shat on because I suck.
It happens. They'll do it anyway. Listen, funny story. We're going to get into the indie stuff because this is going to be a long episode anyway. I don't want to drag it out. But yesterday I'm playing. I lock into a match. Everybody inslogs DPS. It's the meme. Everybody does. You're like, fuck. Pretty good healer. I decide to switch. As I pick off of Black Panther, this guy in chat types, Danny, go heals. So like I didn't do it because he said so. It just conveniently worked out that way. So I switched to Jeff, and then he goes, good boy. I'm like, nah, fuck you. So our Doctor Strange is just like, yeah, I wouldn't take that. So I'm like, you don't get any heals this match. So homie, and
fucking hell.
Or anything, I'm running solo queues, but our other healer, Cloak and Dagger, whatever vibe they were picking up, they were on my side. They're like, I'm not healing either. So a whole team got heals, but the Black Panther, who is jumping in the corner spamming, I need heals. Match ends. He's like, I'm over here begging. So I go, beg more. And so homie's just like, wow, fuck you dumb little shark. You can't even do your job. I pull up 12,000 healing. Got it. Okay. In the first match, got it. So I'm just running, doing the damn thing. We finished the second round. It's 1-1 now. And he's just like, Jeff, are we good? I'm like, no, apologize. And he waits and goes, you fucking suck anyway. I'm like, okay, still no heals then. We still won, But like seeing that Black Panther, which listen, I love Black Panther. It wasn't the Black Panther. It had to be the white guy behind the guy playing Black Panther, or I'm like, this guy, fuck this kid, right? I don't know that he's white. I assumed. Whiny little bitch. But yeah, so he did that, and when we won, it was just fun watching him sit at like no health the entire game, like, fuck you, bitch. And I kept trying to heal the Hulk, and he kept trying to jump in front of it so he could steal the heals. I'm like, no, I'm stopping. Leave. You don't get heals. You're bad. I probably got reported. Right. Exactly. So be nice to your healers or your team, period.
Exactly.
Fucking end that with like 20,000 heals. Big ass bitch. Anyway, that's Marvel Rivals. Guys, welcome back to Playlog. Let's run through the quick stuff that you need to know about. Real quick before we get rolling. Last Sunday, Tofr was a guest on the Koopa Cast podcast, talking everything Citizen Sleeper 2 with host Seth and So Many Games colleague Jason. You can find the episode on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as over on So Many Games YouTube channel. Tofr and Jason had a spoiler-filled conversation on the game. So, if you already played it and you want to join the conversation, check that out as well over on youtube.com/SoManyGames. I
think that's the, yeah.
Listen, if it's not that, it's something like that. You can find it. You guys, you're computer literate. You know what you're doing. I believe in you. Yeah. Big kisses.
It's in my link tree. It's in
the link tree, which is in the description. You can click on that too. Go do that. We make it simple for you. Also, if you're looking at what games you want to be playing while you're curled up on the couch alone or with a loved one this February, look no further, because I just dropped my February indie game releases video on YouTube, including games like Rift of the Necrodancer, Big Helmet Heroes, Jump King Quest, and more. So be sure to head over to youtube.com/CGDannyB right now to check out that video, along with a bunch of other indie gaming goodness. And finally, another quick reminder: as part of our podcast, we'll be doing our monthly book club, where we go back and replay some indie classics or finally get around to some modern indies that we just haven't played yet. For this month's episode, we'll be reviewing Monster Prom. You have 3 weeks to get a date for Monster Prom. Go through absurd and funny situations, raise your stats, and seduce one of your classmates. Beautiful art, bold, unapologetic dialogue, and hard choices make up this multiplayer dating sim. Be your worst self. Sorry, I thought that was another sentence. It's the end of the summary. I should have put quotes now.
You wrote it.
I copy pasted from the Steam page. I didn't write it. Anyway, be your worst self. So, if you want to get involved in the episode, play the game this month on your preferred platform, head over to a write-in form in the description so you can give us your thoughts on Monster Prom for our February 18th episode. Quick note, this is going to be a week earlier than usual. We usually do the last week of the month, but Steam Next Fest this month. So, we're going to do a week early. Just remember that. Keep it in mind. So, if you want to join the conversation, you can be there live on twitch.tv/CGDannyB for the discussion, or catch the upload a few days later on youtube.com/CGDannyB. That's that. That's your intro. That's it, baby. Breathe. Oxygen. Ooh, just fucking choked. Guys, don't breathe. It's rough. Don't do it. Anyway, we can hop into some quick indie news. We got 3 headlines here today. The first one being a roller coaster. Let me tell you, we have Roll7's critically acclaimed skating game, OlliOlli World and Rollerdrome, mysteriously yanked from Steam. Now, there has been an update, but we're going to roll with what we got first. This is Vicky Blake over at Eurogamer. I guess, see, they start with the update, so now I'm like, do I read the update first, or do I guess just read the article in order? I don't really know. Anyway, I don't know how to do this. Let's skip it real quick. See, now the thing is, the context of the update has the stuff first. I guess okay, original story. This works. Okay, hold on. Chat, we're piecing it together. It's a Tuesday, Thursday, whatever. Roll7's award-winning Rollerdrome and OlliOlli World have been mysteriously delisted on Steam. Whilst there's been no formal word on why the critically acclaimed skating games have been pulled from sale on Steam, both games have been published on Take-Two Interactive's indie publishing label, Private Division, before it was sold to an unknown buyer, thought to be Haveli Investments towards the end of last year. Neither game shows up if you search on Steam, whilst using the direct URL informs you that the games are no longer available on the Steam store. Despite Roll7's previous games, OlliOlli and OlliOlli 2, Welcome to Olli World are still listed. Curiously, both Rollerdrome and OlliOlli World are, for now at least, still available on the PlayStation Store. Whilst they still list Private Division as the publisher on those pages, the defunct Steam pages, which were quietly amended last week, have been updated to replace the publisher Private Division with 2K. Now, I'm going to go back to the top real quick. Update as of March 2nd, which, damn, Yeah, I really didn't know this till this morning. Anyway, following the surprise move of OlliOlli World and Rollerdrome from Steam, 2K has confirmed both acclaimed titles will be added back. While the publisher didn't elaborate on the reason for their removal, it told Eurogamer, we can confirm that 2K is now publishing these games, which will be added back to Steam. OlliOlli World and Rollerdrome's disappearance from Valve's platform allows 2K's decision to close developer Roll 7 and the game's publishing labeled Private Division last year. At the time of Private Division's closure, 2K confirms the rights to many of the label's games have been purchased by an unnamed third party. Since then, it's been reported former Annapurna Interactive staff are set to take over Private Division's portfolio. Tofr, thoughts? How you doing?
I love that you said that the update was on March 2nd, first of all.
Fuck me. I sure did, huh? Damn, anyone watching, sorry, audio listeners, it says 3/2/25. I didn't even realize that I said March 2nd.
That's fine.
If y'all did it the right way, like us Americans, it should be.
Yeah, the most logical way, right?
Yes, February 3rd. Month, what? You're going to say, oh, it's the 3rd of February as opposed to it's March 2nd. It just makes more sense. I don't know. You guys are crazy. Eurogamer, fix your stuff. Be better.
Yeah, but it's a weird situation with
100%.
Like, I imagine with the Annapurna, the ex Annapurna staff coming in to take care of Roll 7's games, but then finding some of these games gone,
Yeah,
purchased by another organization. It's gonna get weird.
100%. Like it's the wrap of like a company, right? Especially something that has like all these different products. Like I guess put it in another realm. Like if Nintendo was to be bought out, right? You're like, oh cool, we're gonna sell Mario to one guy, Zelda to another, Metro to a third. We're gonna give Walmart rights to who fucking knows, Star Fox or F-Zero. Like it's just weird to place those around. This trailer's struggling over here. So yeah, knowing that Private Division just kind of separated all their stuff, however it happened, is super weird.
Mm-hmm. I'm just taking a look because I think the first two OlliOlli games were not published by 2K. That's why they're not delisted.
Okay, are they still Private Division on there?
The Private Division. I meant Private Division.
Sorry,
They were published by Devolver Digital.
Oh shit! I didn't know those were Devolver John's. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that makes sense why those are still online then. But
interesting.
Yeah, it's a sad situation because like both of these games, both OlliOlli World and Rollerdrome, were like pretty big hits, well, considering they're indies.
Right.
And to not have them available for purchase is just
strange.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I guess there's got to be the window, right? Of like whatever account that Steam money is going to is like, oh, we have to change it. Don't let anyone buy it while it's still going to XYZ, which I guess makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just ponder how the structure works. Yeah, again, I always clarify, not a business person, can't sit here and tell you how money works and everything with the businesses, but like it's thinking of you saying OlliOlli 1 and 2 being published by Devolver, where like at some point Private Division or I guess the developers of OlliOlli were just like, hey, we're either not going to publish with Devolver, or Devolver wasn't seeing the benefit of publishing a third OlliOlli after doing 2, right? So on some side it's like, where did it fall through that we need a new publisher? Did we just want to change the pace because of how things worked? So yeah, really weird conceptually of how that all fell together.
Yeah. And especially considering that OlliOlli World is still on the PlayStation Store, for example.
Right, true.
I just checked it and it's still on there. So why are the rights for the console versions different than the rights to the PC version? I maybe should like try and learn more about this because I have no idea.
I almost want to guess, right? And this is me using content creator brain. So the way like Twitch and YouTube, and I don't think TikTok, but Twitch and YouTube for sure, is like each month there's like a threshold, right? So if I put out videos, whatever, and I get enough ad revenue to reach $100, then I get my payout. The money goes to me. And I don't think it's probably necessarily like a threshold thing, but I could see a world where PlayStation is just like, hey, here's the money. It'll get distributed every month to the developers once, whatever. So there's a chance that they're like, hey, we're well off from our payment period, so we could just keep making the money and then by then make sure it's switched over to 2K rather than Private Division. Do you have the PlayStation page still up? Does it still say private? I don't know if they show the developers or publishers and stuff on the PlayStation pages. If maybe they already jumped on that one, or
see.
Yeah.
Take-Two Interactive. It just says.
Okay. Big world, big strange world. Any development.
It sure is.
At least they're coming back, which is great. The scare of being like these games will never be available again, or like for me, like I don't have Rollerdrome. I guess I'm on PlayStation, it doesn't matter. But if I was on Steam and like I have Rollerdrome, but I don't have it installed, I don't know if I still have access to it. I don't know. I didn't see anything about that in the article.
I did believe it was still available for download.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then it's just like, oh no, the new people can't play the game, which like super sucks. I wouldn't want that to happen. But knowing that the plan is to come back is good. So we'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah. More people need to play OlliOlli World anyway.
Yeah.
It's one of the best skateboarding games of all time. And I mean, with Tony Hawk's games, it's a crowded genre, but it's like the perfect mixture of accessible and challenging.
Yeah.
Which is what you need for a skating game, man. Yeah. Oh, I want to play some OlliOlli World now.
Listen, you know what you're doing after this. Hop on OlliOlli World. Oh, bad. But listen, guys, keep your eye on Steam. Go check out OlliOlli World and Rollerdrome when they come back. Next, on to some also not so great news. We have Wayne June, fam narrator for the Darkest Dungeon games, has died. Red Hook Studios says June's work is, quote, nothing short of iconic, and deserves to be recognized and celebrated at the highest level of our industry. This one is Andy Chalk, over at PC Gamer. Wayne June, the famed narrator for Darkest Dungeons game, has died. June's passing was announced on Blue Sky by Darkest Dungeon creative director Chris Barassa, who's described June as ancestor, academic, artist, and friend. Quote, 12 years ago, Tyler, Red Hook co-founder Tyler Sigma, and I reached out to Wayne, humbly asking him to narrate our indie game trailer. Barassa wrote, since this magical moment when we first paired his reading with the footage, it has been an incredible and fulfilling collaboration. Wayne's singular baritone and masterful cadence elevated everything he read. He was a consummate professional, and his love for this craft was an inspiration. I was putting a T in there. His inimitable work is woven into the very fabric of our industry in a way that cannot be forgotten. It is one of the greatest honors to have written for him in the past decade. Though I never got to shake his hand, I knew him to be a friend. Thank you, Wayne. Damn. Yeah. That always sucks.
Yeah,
That's so shitty.
Yeah, and like, it's like the people at Red Hook say it, like, his work elevates everything around it. I love the Darkest Dungeon games, both of them.
Yeah.
I love the graphics, I love the atmosphere, but the thing is, without his narration, it wouldn't be half as good.
Yeah.
His narration is what makes everything tick. And yeah, it's really sad. I wanted to hear his voice in even more projects.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
There's the iconicism with it, right? We're like, every franchise, every game has the voice. You know, you're talking your AAAs, you got your Master Chief voice. You have the narrator for multiplayer. You've got Charles Martinet as Mario, which even the new guy does pretty well. But people can like distinct, like, this isn't quite the one that we have, right? So for Darkest Dungeon fans and being tethered to that voice, never really thinking like, it's a video game. It's just a voice in there. Maybe never thinking too much more about that. Knowing once the person passes, say there would be a Darkest Dungeon 3, like there will be a major change. So yeah, it's definitely like a sad thing to think about, being a new game and trying to find someone to replace and just not feeling quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course, obviously a man lost his life, which is, you know, well beyond games and everything else, like so much more important than everything. But that's just, yeah, that's
Absolutely.
unfortunate.
Sending lots of love to his family and friends. Absolutely.
Wayne, we appreciate everything you've done. Darkest Dungeon can never be the same without you. Let me see here. Man, feels somber to move on to something exciting, but tell you what, let's put some smiles on those faces, people, because we got an ID at Xbox showcase kicking off IGN FanFest 2025 on February 24th at 10 a.m. PST. Yikes, that's a long title there. Quote, get ready to see trailers, gameplay, and reveals from indie studios, including Raw Fury, Team 17, Acapura, 11-Bit, and many others. Highlights include the next collaboration for Balatro and much, much more. And then if I run over here, I'm gonna let this trailer play real quick if it will actually run. Thanks, Twitter. I love ID at Xbox. I love what they do. Their whole thing is they're a corporation within Xbox that helps indie developers get to the Xbox platform. I've always enjoyed the ID at Xbox showcases. I think they're great. And just taking a quick peek at this trailer, I had it running while we were talking beforehand. I mean, we see Don't Nod, 11-bit, which I'm like, where it is, Moonlighter 2, baby. So coming to Xbox, I'm sure we knew, but that tells me we're going to get a more fleshed out trailer, maybe with some more boss stuff, and fingers crossed for a release. Listen, Tofr, Moonlighter 2 drops in fucking March. I'm going to lose my shit. Lose my fucking mind. But we won't know. We'll see. But yes, I'm very excited for that.
What if the Shadow drops on February 24th?
Don't do that to me. don't do that to me. Whoa, that'd be crazy.
Who needs Monster Hunter anyway?
Honestly, no, you might not be wrong, dude. Sorry, Connor. If Moonlighter drops just before Monster Hunter, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not playing anymore. Monster Hunter can fuck off. I'm just kidding. I'm very excited for Monster Hunter, but no, like, and then also the fucking Balatro collaborations are super great. They're usually not anything too insane. They're more just cosmetic. Here's some, card skins of other indie studios, and I'd love to see what else that could be. Being like the Friends of Jimbo. I don't know if there's ever like a secret, like, oh, these are actual devs that Local Thunk has met. So we're like that, or if it's just like, we put other games in here, guys. That's what we do. So that could be really fun to see, like, what the next pack's going to be of, like, oh, is Cuphead going to be there? We got Moonlighter and Balatro would make it the perfect game. So, never know. Never know.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Don't Nod will be bringing, because it's going to be just on the back of the release of
Lost Records.
Lost Records, yeah. So that they're apparently announcing something new.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be a trailer for episode 2, the Rage part of the episode, or if it'll be Jasant. That's Don't Nod, right? Is that on Xbox already? I mean, that's from the trailer.
Game Pass.
Yeah. So unless there's like an expansion for Jasant, it could be something that simple. It could be something more. I'm trying to think what else. Don't Nod. Yeah, it does seem weird to announce another new game as you're in the middle of your current one, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's Vampire 2. Never played the first one.
Neither have I.
Yeah, I had a buddy who was working at GameStop. He was all about it. He loved it. I just, it wasn't crazy high school girl doing her thing. I was like, oh man, I'm not as interested in this, which sounds super weird. I apologize.
A little bit.
Yeah, but listen, I was early college, I think, when I first played Life is Strange. When did Life is Strange come out? Is that older than I think it is?
That is quite old. Let me check.
That's was I in high school?
The first Life is Strange. Let me see. 2015.
Okay, so yeah, college. Yep. So I was in college when I played Life is Strange. I love the vibe. I love those. The I say like down to earth, but then you're just like psychic powers. I'm like, yeah, not really that, but I like those vibes. Vampire wasn't really my thing, but like the other Don't Nod and Deck 9 things of Life is Strange is right there. So Lost Records is definitely in that same vein for me. Oh man, but that was the quick indie news, which means it's time to get into the topic of the show, where today, Tofr, we're talking about our favorite indie game moments. Our goal today is to talk about some of our favorite moments in indie games, be that sad, happy, the shocking, or the grotesque. We want to reflect on moments in games that made a lasting impression on us. And since we're talking about impactful moments in games, know that's coming with a big spoiler warning. But I will have timestamps for each game that we're talking about. So if we come up and say we're talking about this game and you don't want to be spoiled, you can pause. There'll be a timestamp for you to skip to the next game so you can keep listening and then go play the game and come back and hear the moment we're talking about later, because I want you to experience these things just like I did, except Tofr, you might not have a choice. Sorry, you're getting spoiled on Shovel Knight.
No.
Oh boy. You know what? I'll let you start with whatever order you choose to go, and I know we usually just go down the list, and I assume we just build them that way. But yeah,
it makes the most sense, especially if you want to include like visuals.
That's true.
But basically, let's kick it off with No Man's Sky.
Whoa!
Yes, the spacefaring simulator. In 2025, No Man's Sky is an extremely successful indie game, being seen as a labor of love as it has gotten free update after free update over the past 9 years. It took Hello Games a couple of years, but in the end, they managed to create like the game they had envisioned from the get-go.
Yeah.
And while I've dipped in and out of the game throughout the years, checking out some of the new updates, enjoying how water moves so much better now. For my favorite moment, I need to take you back to 2016.
Oh man, we going back, baby.
The scene is set. No Man's Sky arrives to huge fanfare with the backing of PlayStation and an insane amount of hype. And then it turns out it's all a bit meh.
It's kind of meh, yeah.
Yeah. While the universe you get to play in is huge, the planets you actually visit are a bit underwhelming. But the start of the game, let me tell you, that's something else. It starts with a couple of fetch quests as your ship is broken down and you need the right parts to get it working again. So you travel around on this planet collecting what you need, meeting the local wildlife. But then, as you've been running around, you've seen other planets over the horizon with the hope to visit those. But surely getting there will be like a couple of cutscenes, maybe a fast travel system or something in place. And yet, that's not the case. You lift off, and once you get out of the planet's atmosphere, it dawns on you that you're in space. And you're heading straight for that other planet. And just the feeling that this was possible, especially back in 2016, was insane. And sure, those planets weren't all that special just yet. But you traveled through space with music by the best band in the universe blasting through your ears. Shout out 65 Days of Static. Love you.
Daughtry. Damn.
But yeah, despite everything that Hello Games have added to the game since its launch, for me, there's nothing that beats that feeling when you first take off from that original planet and fly straight towards another planet.
It's so interesting, right? Because the way I like to play games, I am the complete opposite. The moment I get in that ship and hit like the open space, I am like immediately turned off, which is so like, it might be a decision paralysis thing. It might be just like, I feel like I want to go at like a more narrative path and you just kind of let me find what I find, which depending on the game, like the mood, whatever. But I think No Man's Sky, that first week of playing, like it didn't bother me. And then that's kind of where I was like, I don't think I like this in games. I don't think I like the space exploration, right? Yeah. So I see like Outer Wilds. I stopped when you get in the spaceship and leave. I'm like, I'll come back to this. I just haven't, and like I plan to, but I just know like I'm gonna get in the spaceship. Like, oh man, I gotta fly through space, man. That sucks. It's just something I realize I don't like in games, and that's never like a game's bad because it does space. I just know like, oh man, that'll be a hurdle for me. That being said, the sentiment 100% there, because No Man's Sky was all about the fucking vision of having all these just different places you can go. It's not just like dots on a screen. It's something you can fly to. I remember showing our teacher. He was like, what's this No Man's Sky thing? We're like, procedurally generated, all these planets. He's like, I don't get it. We're like, we don't either. We haven't played it. And then we were all kind of disappointed at launch, but we're like, you know, we still are excited. We're all animation students. Let's go. So 100%. Totally get the sentiment. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of space exploration per se. That's why I haven't sunk like hundreds of hours into this game. Because, but just the idea that you can take off and then have no loading screens, no cutscenes, and just land on another planet wherever you want on that planet is just something that really, like, even Starfield apparently doesn't feel that natural.
Okay.
As No Man's Sky does when it comes to that space travel. And yeah, I think that's pretty amazing for a team that like at the time consisted of like less than 10 people.
Right. Fuck. Listen, I don't know how they got their chops beaten in. They're good. They're just like, we're sorry. Let's just keep putting shit in. I'm like, guys, relax. Your apology has been accepted. You can stop. But they have, is it Light No Fire? Is that the next one? I don't know if I'm saying the name right. Yeah, that one looks cool. I don't know if it has space travel, so we'll see. But I'm definitely like interested in seeing that one hopefully succeed, being like, we've seen what we did wrong with No Man's Sky. We took the notes. We know how to launch a game now. So fingers crossed this one hits the same as No Man's Sky would now. So I'm excited. I'm excited for Hello Games.
I like that they've like scaled it down a bit. Because they in the Steam description it mentions that the planet is the size of Earth.
Okay.
But that's still gonna be a big undertaking if you're gonna have like all of these people playing online at the same time.
Yeah.
But at least it's not a whole universe that they have to fill now. So I'm hoping it gets more attention to detail and like there's more history to the place and stuff like that. But it's like you said, they if they can take the lessons they've learned from No Man's Sky and apply them to Light No Fire, that would be pretty special.
Yeah, yeah. Or if we scrap the whole thing and just make The Last Campfire 2, I would be equally as excited because I fucking love that game. Such a cute amazing game. Loved it. Yeah. I want another one. Oh boy. Thoughts on No Man's Sky. But tell you what, Tofr. We got to talk about something a little more grounded, something a little more down to earth, something some would even say are strange, Tofr. I want to talk about Life is Strange. Now, we brought up Life is Strange a little bit, right? We're like, I love this game. It's so good. You potentially had a discussion later if we needed more about a moment in Life is Strange. We don't have the same moment. A lot of people talk about the end of Life is Strange, right? You know, the decision between Chloe or Arcadia Bay. The moment that always stuck out the most to me in Life is Strange as both a player, but then also just a gamer in general, was the reveal that Jefferson was the bad guy. So for context, you meet up with Chloe. You're like, oh, hey, we're friends. We hang out, whatever. We're hanging out at her place. You find out she's got a stepdad who's retired military, hates her smoking in the house, hates her general vibe. Like, why are you such a punk? I'm police, school security, whatever. School security is like, I hate that you're just such a troublemaker. So they have this budding relationship. So you end up in this spot of like, oh, Chloe's long lost friend Rachel, who has been missing for so long, she might be dead, must have been killed by, or whatever happened, could be my dad or stepdad. You know, you have all these threads that imply like he did it, or like where could she be? As you do some research and find out like where her body could be, you're digging her up in like what is your guy's favorite hangout spot, this like junkyard to just smash shit and jump on cars and whatever. And the entire time you're just anticipating like what's gonna happen. You find the body. Moments later, someone sneaks up behind Max and like puts a syringe in her neck. And I probably should have warned this with a trigger warning that I wrote down but didn't state. So trigger warning real quick, just to be safe. But yeah, she gets drugged like instantly. And meanwhile, Chloe like is so invested in finding this body that like she misses it all, turns around and immediately gets shot in the chest by this strange person who we've yet to see revealed. To then have Max kind of dazing out, look up, and then there's Jefferson, your teacher from episode 1, who was like on your side. I love your photographs. Hey, get your photographs to me for this contest. Like this guy has your back. The first time you play, right? Then the second time, you're like, yeah, you really did say that, huh? I think there's a moment where he says something like, I would take a photograph of any of you in like the dark corner of a room. Like that's pretty psychotic, isn't it? That is really weird. Didn't really think about that the first time before I knew you were a creep. That's wild. But yeah, then from there, he like traps you in his basement. He keeps injecting you so you're passing out, but he has you strapped into a chair. He's taking pictures. Very creepy, very weird. Like that an adult you trust in this game all of a sudden takes advantage of you. And you know, I don't think it gets any creepier, weirder than that, but it's a very strange moment, which is not the thing that sits with me, but the thing that I now go into every game with the expectation of being misdirected. Where like I would play a game like this on stream, be like, all right, guys, the game wants me to think it's the mom, but we all know that it's the crazy old lady who was sitting on the porch at the beginning. We know she got something to do with this. There's no chance she doesn't. And then she does, right? So I'm like, not that it spoils game stream, but it keeps me on my toes of like, even when I get the shock of something like this, I still wasn't entirely bamboozled. I'm like, oh shit, I thought it was going to be this, but at least it wasn't the thing they wanted me to think it was. Which I have to give Don't Nod that credit for fixing my brain when it comes to playing games. And man, let me tell you, fucking Jefferson.
Yeah,
hate that man now.
What a sleazebag.
So cool for an episode, and then he fucked it all up.
It's always the ones that seem cool that turn out to be the worst.
Yep. But luckily, fucking David comes in and saves our lives. Thanks, David.
Yeah.
You're not so bad after all. Fuck. I love Life is Strange, man. I'm so excited for Lost Records, but it hit me with Life is Strange. I'm going to play it. I fucking love these games.
Yeah, I would love to see Don't Not go back to the Life is Strange universe.
That'd be really fun.
I get why they won't do it. Like they made the choice. They felt limited in what they were able to do due to Square Enix their involvement. So yeah, I get why they moved on, but I'm really hyped for Lost Records.
Yeah. Could you imagine we get a world where they're like, hey, Don't Nod's bought the rights back from Square Enix after the success of Lost Records, and now they're making it. They probably won't, because Square Enix has now set up this universe now of like, not spoilers for the new one. Did you play the new one, or?
I haven't yet. No.
Okay, then not spoilers, but it does have an Avengers card of like Max Caulfield will return. We're like, okay, so this is what we're doing. So, yeah, I really enjoyed the new one. Not as much as the other. It's probably like third favorite compared to like one. Oh, sorry, True Colors and then one. Then I would say Double Exposure and two, not counting Before the Storm. But yeah, I enjoyed the new one. I'm excited to see what Life is Strange is. But yeah, no, seeing Don't Nod with Lost Records and whatever else comes from that, I'm very excited. So
yeah, can I just quickly mention the choice between?
Absolutely, we're on it. Let's do it. Run it.
Because most people are like, "Oh, the choice was obvious," and I'm like, "Well, if you're thinking like Max, then you're gonna save Arcadia Bay, aren't you? Like, there's so many people there."
Right, but I'm thinking like me, and fuck them bitches. I only cared about Chloe. Fuck Arcadia Bay. Everyone's such a shithead. I don't give a fuck.
I also only cared about Chloe, but I still picked I made the choice to save Arcadia Bay, and I have to say that the ending montage after you make that choice, hurts me to the core of my soul.
Yeah, it's a
so
lot,
sad.
dude. You're right, and like I definitely did the thing. I forget if there was a save one, if I had to play through the whole chapter. Someone have to remind me, but I went and did both endings to see what they both were. My canon event ending is picking Chloe. I'm like, this is the right one for me. You know, I'm saving Chloe. Then I went back to see if I pick Arcadia Bay, and even when I picked Chloe, the only person I was thinking about was Joyce, Chloe's mom. Which, because there's Wyatt was the friend that you're going to see the Planet of the Apes movies with. I can't even think of his name because he's not Chloe. But yeah, like I didn't even think about him, even though he just had like an important moment, like in the diner, right? Where I'm like, oh shit, this guy exists. Forgot. We should do a book club on Life is Strange.
We should.
But yeah, no, like I literally was just only thinking about Chloe and then Chloe's mom in that final moment. And I was like, I got to pick one, and Chloe's more important. So sorry, Joyce. I love you, but not like Chloe.
Yeah, absolutely. Man,
fuck. What a game, dude. Life is, what a verse.
What a game indeed.
But speaking of games, there's more of them. Tofr, what else you got? Other moments. What other moments we living on here?
Let's move over to another game that I've mentioned before on this podcast. It's called If Found. It is a brilliant game by the developer Dreamfeel. And it tells the story of Casio, a trans girl living in Ireland in the 90s. And on New Year's Eve 1993, she's alone in the crumbling ruins of a mansion, destroying her diary. It's also the story of an astronaut called Cassiopeia, who tries to prevent a black hole from destroying the world.
Oh.
Because, of course, it is about both.
Some drastically different narratives. I didn't know about the space one.
Oh, yeah.
I knew about the trans the trans girl. Trans woman, you said, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure I had that straight.
But yeah, gameplay in this game is limited to erasing things. As Casio destroys her diary, she hopes to leave behind the memories presented within, from not being accepted by her family to breaking someone's heart and the fallout from that. She just wants everything gone.
Aww.
So you can imagine my surprise when all of a sudden, at the most dramatic moment of the story, you stop erasing and you start writing and drawing.
Aww.
And it means that there might be a future after all for both Casio and Cassiopeia. And especially after the build-up to this crushing moment, the elation of finally creating instead of destroying is tangible. Like, there's a hope that rises all of a sudden that you haven't felt throughout the entire game. And it's such a simple trick, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Just switch the erasing to creating, but it works so well narratively. It's like, this is the kind of queer joy that you love to see represented, even though Casio has gone through the worst times to get there.
Oh, that's so. I love that. It's the simple things, right? Where you have a game. This game gives so much Florence, which is a game that I didn't think to include on here, and I'm going to talk about Florence during this now. But like Florence has a moment, right? Which is a mobile game now on console where you're as a young woman, you find a boyfriend, I think eventually become husband, I forget, but you move in together, and you're progressively seeing their life work out, and the whole thing is like moving pieces to work together. And there's a point where you're seeing each other kind of start to butt heads, and the pieces no longer fit together. Like you can't make it work, and you're like, fuck, that's so tough. And you just sit there on the screen trying to slap the stuff together, just making it want to work, and you can't. So seeing that on the polar opposite, like sad side of it, being the moment of like everything being about erasing to then be like additive as opposed to subtractive is super, like, I love that. That's really cool. Oh,
It's
that's
really
so sweet.
powerful. Just imagine, like, both Florence and If Found were both published by Annapurna in 2020. So they had a pretty good year.
Yeah, let's go, baby. What bangers! I've not played If Found. That's one I think I need to.
I think I might bring that up for a book club, because this is
I'm
one
down.
I mean, I kind of spoiled it now, but it's still powerful to replay, even if you know what's gonna happen.
100%, absolutely. It's all right. You owe it to me. I'm going to spoil Shovel Knight for you, so. Might be different energies, but actually maybe one that's probably more important. Also, before, any other thoughts on If Found, because that sounds great.
It's just a phenomenal story, and it seems like Dreamfield, the developer, is struggling a bit at the moment.
Oh no.
I've joined their Patreon
Okay.
as they try to discover what their next steps are going to be.
Okay.
And I'm hoping they like find their feet.
Yeah.
Get
Have
on
they
their feet.
announced the next project, or are they in between?
There's like multiple projects happening, but they're like unsure of which one to continue or something like that.
God damn. All right, yeah. Show some love. We're gonna save every studio. We don't even want to close. Be good.
Yeah.
But let me tell you about some more shock and awe that we got from a little game that I played a few months ago with Dave Jackson for Tales from the Backlog, A Space for the Unbound, right? No, it wasn't Tofr. I don't think you ever got a chance to play this one. I'm sorry about the spoiler, but it's not the end spoiler. It's an early spoiler, so we're gonna be okay.
Okay.
Actually,
I did play some of it, but not.
Okay.
I didn't finish it.
Gotcha. Then let me tell you, Space for the Unbound, great game. You play as Atma, and you are experiencing the story. Like you're talking with your friend Rhea. You guys are getting ready to graduate high school, but you have to take these career aptitude tests. You're both kind of like, fuck it, that's kind of lame. I don't really want to do all that. I want to be me. I want to live my life. One of the, I think it's chapter 2 or 3, you and Ray are kind of exploring the town. You find this cat. His name's Admiral. And you're like, cool, this is our pet stray cat. We love him. Meanwhile, there's this kid, Eric. He's the bully at the school. He picks on Admiral all the time. But he also has a crush on Rhea. So, like, he's constantly just like, I'm going to pick on you because you talk to the girl that I like. Like, I don't like you. Which is rough, right? So you're like, okay, whatever. But at this point, you already have this expectation that there is something supernatural going on, but nothing's been really given to you. You see like people being weird, but nothing super violent. But But as you're, progressing, you're like, Rhea's having a rough day. I want to make her day better. You're running around town getting her favorite stuff. You're getting food for the cat so she can be comfortable with him. You run to the bakery to get like her favorite. It's a cake type thing. I forget what it's called. But it's some type of cake. As you get it, Eric's just like, hey, fuck you, man. I'm taking that and I'm giving it to Rhea so that I win her love and affection and blah, 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 blah. After him and his thugs beat you up and take the cake, he hops on his little motorbike to drive away, running over Admiral, killing the stray cat.
No.
Yeah. So he's just like, fuck, I killed her cat, but maybe the cake will make up for it. So as he approaches it and like, yeah, right. He's fucking nuts, but high school boy, I guess.
Yeah.
But you end up going to the school. You see them mid-interaction. So he's already told her, like, I killed the cat, but I got the cake. And she's like, get the fuck away from me. Don't talk to me. Don't come anywhere near me. And as you intervene, you start doing a little fighting, which puts you in there's a persona dive type deal where you go into his mind, see his history, try and change the past, whatever. You do that whole thing with Eric. And as you come back out, in his memories infested with like werewolves and strong creatures that kind of like put him down. And that's why he kind of becomes the bully that he is. As you come back out, he turns into this werewolf thing, like ready to attack you. When Rhea snaps together, puts her hand up and like stops him and like turns it off. And he's just like, he just starts panicking. He's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I apologize. It's what the cat, I didn't mean to hit the cat. And she just goes, shut up, picks him up and just obliterates him into pieces. Gone. Like, this is the first moment where you're like, holy fuck, what just happened? You just killed a kid. Like, and it is so, if I recall, I think the music cuts, there's like the sad tone. She's like, shut up. And it's just particles of white take over the screen. Like, holy shit. And it was the moment that, like, I think expectations were at such, not even a low. It was just like, this is going to be like this slice of life narrative with a little bit of, again, back to Life is Strange, a little bit of magic and stuff in there. Like, nope, people are dying. Things are getting crazy. And this just establishes like how Rhea thinks moving forward and puts a lot more characters at risk. You're like, oh, who's she going to kill next? What's she about to do? I don't know what to expect. And it gets great. It gets like, again, kind of sad, kind of rough. I cried a lot. But yeah, I sit here and think about that moment a lot. The moment it just like turned the whole game of like, oh, yeah, you know what we're doing. You know what to expect. We're about to start killing some people, guys.
Damn.
Man, I love this game. It's so good.
I need to get back to this one.
Yeah. I can't recommend it more. It's a lot. Emotionally, of course, but also it's very dialogue heavy. I know I'm always in the fence, right, where I'm like, I hated Kentucky Route Zero, but it's such a different tone from what like this game is. But yeah, I was super into the slice of life anime. The video game was really fun, so I recommend everyone. Again, I say fun, but also really sad and depressing, and be like, hey, just know what you're getting into. It's gonna be sad and depressing, but
is it an indie game if it doesn't get depressing?
Exactly, never, absolutely not. Just let me tell you, Cuphead, so depressing.
Yeah.
Super depressing. Oh boy. But yeah, no, especially Unbound. That's a spoiler, but like an early spoiler, so you still got plenty to go, team. So I still recommend checking it out. Okay. But I guess now that we've talked about a great game, let's talk about another game. What else we got?
Let's talk. You were gonna use another adjective there,
huh? Maybe. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what game you're talking about. You're crazy. We're
gonna talk about a classic game.
Okay.
Kentucky Route Zero.
Oh, ew. I'm kidding. Not really, but go ahead.
I know you adore this game.
It's something.
Yeah. It's a magical realist adventure game in 5 acts in which you play as Conway, or well, most of the time you do. A man who needs to make a final delivery for a doomed antique shop. It's a game that won't be for everyone, as Danny can attest to.
Me!
Prepare to read a lot.
Yuck.
It's also a setting and vision that won't be for everyone. If you love the work of the late David Lynch, you will probably adore this, but if you didn't, then maybe give this one a pass. Because it's kind of a Marmite game, like you love it or you hate it. Anyway, within this game full of walls of text and loads of things that don't seem to make any sense, and its bleak world filled with the ghosts of memories, you meet a couple of musicians. Despite having already gotten sidetracked from your original mission in massive ways, you decide to get them to the venue where they were scheduled to perform.
Yeah.
It's here that Junebug and Johnny, the musicians, perform a song that is just so eerily beautiful that it makes the entire game stop and makes you go silent for just a couple of minutes. I remember from our book club episode that even you, Danny, appreciated this moment at least.
I was going to say, okay, at least you picked a good moment. Yeah, no, this part was really cool. I was really breath taken away at this part. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's something else. Like, it's an iconic video game moment for me because it makes you go silent. And even as you're like, this game, a lot of this game takes place inside your own head because you're thinking like, what the hell is going on? Why is this happening? Why doesn't this make any sense? But then that performance starts and you're not thinking about any of that. You're just listening and enjoying and being carried away to like outer space or something. And it's a really special moment, and I'm glad that if anything from this game like connected with you, that it was that moment.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, it was really pretty. I enjoyed. It's in the chapter right where I started to kind of be like, I don't know if I'm actually enjoying this game. Like I feel like I'm forced to finish it. I picked it for the book club type deal, and then this was this moment of levity's not the right word. I'm like, okay, hold on. I'm here. I'm feeling this moment for sure. That was a really cool moment. Yeah, 100%. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. It's a cool moment because Kentucky Route Zero to me feels like a game that you can only play in the middle of the night. That's like the only time of day when this game can make any sense. and that performance felt like a really middle of the night type of vibe.
Yeah.
Within the game, it happens literally in the middle of the night because you arrive at the venue hours after they were supposed to perform. And there's the only audience is like just you and the party of characters that you've collected thus far. And that's it. But it doesn't need to be anything more than that. And I think it's the best moment of the game. Despite liking the entire game, I think this is where it peaked.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, 100%. That's a pretty moment. Good you, bud.
Kentucky Route Zero. What a good game.
And what a game. I will always preface, I did not like it. That does not mean you won't. If you think you're interested, try it. Just know, if you're like, Danny, we like all the same games. I didn't like Kentucky Route Zero. Just, there's your preference. Oh boy. Let's see here. You know, in editing these videos, I realized that I use boy oh boy a lot as the like transition thing. And now I notice it. I'm like, fuck, damn, I said it again.
It's either oh boy, or it's and with that.
Yep, I do that a lot. Yep, it's true.
And now you're gonna notice that one as well.
Yep.
So how are you gonna transition to your game now?
I like shovels, Tofr.
Excellent transition.
Where'd I put the little man? Get over here, buddy. Listen.
Hey, there he is.
Shovel Knight, great platformer, not a super narrative heavy game. There's story beats, but there's nothing like, oh my god, you're gonna spoil the story for me. So basically, I'm spoiling kind of the end of Shovel Knight. So stick with me, team. It's gonna be okay. Now, Shovel Knight, 2D platformer. You play as this adorable little guy, Shovel Knight, little blue man. He's like, I got a shovel, I got to jump. But my beautiful wife, girlfriend, love of my life, I don't know what their marital status is. Shield Knight has gone missing years ago. He's just living his life until the Order of No Quarter's like, haha, we're taking over the world. He's like, fuck you not. I'm stopping you. So you're playing through the Mega Man style. You go after each boss, you beat him, do the thing. And then as you reach the Enchantress, who is the leader of the Order of No Quarter, and you beat her, she has a 2-stage encounter. You beat her once. As you beat her the first time, the amulet that gives her powers shatters. And as her silhouette disappears, Shield Knight fades from the darkness. You're like, oh my God, that's where my wifey's been this entire time. Where I did, because like you have these like dream sequences where you see her, but you never like get the, oh no, she's trapped in the cage, or like your princess is in another castle type moment. So you know you're going after her, but you don't really have an idea of like where she is or what she's doing. So when you find out she's been enchanted by this amulet, has been the villainess the entire time, like, damn, okay. But I know it wasn't you, Queen. It wasn't your fault. You were, but like they have a dialogue where she's like, "Oh, you caught me." He's like, "If I had any idea, I would have come sooner." She's like, "I knew you knew I was alive. It was just a matter of time. I appreciate you so much." And then the world starts to shake. It's like, "Uh-oh, the amulet broke. Spread her power. Like, we could do this together. We could still stop this from like attacking the world." So then Shield Knight and Shovel Knight fight together to beat the Enchantress, which this moment of like, you just had text dialogue to tell you like you like these characters love each other. That's what it is. But this is the first time you see that they actually mesh really well, where she is constantly at your side of like, I got you. You can't reach her up there. Boom. She jumps up, puts the shield so you have a platform to jump on so you can reach the Enchantress. Like, okay, cool. They work together super well. Like this relationship is more than just like love. They work really well together. The chemistry is there. Like, damn. That's pretty good. One of those things where you get that new like mechanic at the end of a game. You're like, oh, why'd you put this in for the boss fight? It's nothing like that. She's so like utility based of like they use the platform. I forget if she actually does any attacks. It's been a minute since I actually fought the Enchantress. I have to go back and do that. But yeah, man, I don't want the fucking Nuzlocke. Stop, Tofr. What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Listen, Dylan and Vinny, I appreciate the subathon, but stop. We're talking about Shovel Knight. But yeah, no, it's not a whole lot. It's very simple. It's a very like quick event. Like it's not like a long drawn cutscene or anything. But I love that. I another like maybe not expectations were shattered. Like there was always a chance she was the bad guy. That's just media. But like, yeah, I don't think I ever went in with the like hope or expectation she was the bad guy or knowing what that would mean for anything. It was kind of just like, we found your girlfriend, time to fight with her or alongside her, not with her. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a fun time. I enjoy Shovel Knight.
Sounds cool. Yeah.
Listen, and the fact that they announced we're getting whatever Shovel Knight 2 is going to be the sequel to Shovel Knight, and if that means Shield Knight's along with me the entire time we get to do some of these more combos again, let's fucking run it, dude. Let's go, because I want to play that shit. I love this guy.
It's going to be called Shovel Knight Shield Song.
Listen, I'll still
and it's
play
never
it.
Gonna release.
Don't say it. Take it back. Take it back. I gotta tell you, Tofr, because you're bringing up Silksong, right? I going to PAX in May. I got a few like behind closed doors things last year. I got to play some things. We had embargoes and whatnot. I have this like hope that Silksong's there. I'm gonna get to PAX on day one. I'm gonna get to play Silksong. I'm gonna find out what the date is. But like, I think it's still too open to be like, who you hang out with PAX? And, you know, can I be like, what'd you play? I'm like, I went to play Silksong Dog. It comes out next week. Don't tell anybody. Like, we'll know, right? Like, I will be able to keep my mouth shut for clarity. Not on a public platform. I won't be out here just like, hey, everyone, Silksong's coming out next week. Now you know. Like, I won't do that. But I'm just thinking I'm going to get to a cool hotel room where Silksong's there. Like, come on in, gamers. Let's play. Probably not. But I'll crush my expectations when I get to Boston. But I'll be like, what if, you know? But yeah, Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight, Shovel Knight. GG's. Anyway, you were talking about other games.
I am, and I'm about to talk about Mutatzione, like for the like 11th time or something.
What? I don't know if you ever brought this game up before.
It's a mutant soap opera created by Die Gute Fabrik, in which you play as Kai, a 15-year-old who's traveling to the island where her ailing grandfather lives. Here she meets an interesting cast of characters, people who survived an apocalyptic meteor strike but are struggling with the drama of living in a small community. And while it can be fun to discover some of the drama going on in this small community, just like when you're watching a soap opera on TV, there are also moments of profound sadness to be found here. And none more so than when you find out what happened to Miyu's family.
Oh.
Miu is a cat-like mutant who lives on the island,
Okay.
and is someone who Kai not only looks up to, but might even have a slight crush on.
Okay.
So when you discover that not only did Miu's ex RD disappear after he attacked her and their children, but the fire he set also killed their kids.
Oh.
It's pretty damn heavy.
Oh.
Yeah. It gives a completely new level of depth to the melancholy melody you learn from her. And it really shows us that sometimes we have no idea what another person is dealing with. Because there's in the game, Miu always comes across as someone who's like maybe a bit more withdrawn.
Okay.
She carries this kind of sadness, this kind of melancholy everywhere she goes. But you don't really know why that is. She just seems a bit mysterious. But then you find out, and it breaks your heart, man.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. So yeah. Just so I could piece together, right? Because I had the red wire of like, hold on. So you said this. So, cat character set fire and killed family.
No, her ex.
Her ex set the fire.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's shitty.
And the thing is, he disappeared, but his father is still a part of that community.
Okay. Oh,
so that creates quite the dynamic between the two of them, because they both have to deal with the consequences of what happened in different ways. Because, for example, his father feels responsible.
Right, I get it.
Yeah. But it's just it really hit home, and the way that it's written and the way that you get to learn about this through the conversations and stuff, it's just such a sign of how good the Gute Fabrik are or were at writing humans, writing human stories, writing about connections. Yeah. It's kind of weird to say that this is the moment where I kind of fell in love with this game. But it's just this moment, the way they handled it so beautifully made me realize that this was just something special that you don't come across all that often.
Yeah. Damn. No, like it, again, I'll always say this when we talk about indies, right? But they come from a place of like they're always these passion projects that usually come from the heart, right? There's, of course, we got plenty of shovelware of like jumping tacos and bullshit. If we don't call those indies, we call those shovelware. But like, yeah, there's these human moments that come from somewhere, right? Like someone was like, I felt this, or this happened to me, or this almost happened to me, and I can only imagine, or how that made me feel, or how this would have made me feel. And like, I would love to know the root of these conversations, right? Like we talked about Spiritfarer. There was the documentary, not by NoClip, I can't think of what it is on YouTube, but there's a documentary for Spiritfarer. And they talk about like some of the characters being inspired by like developer family, like she's inspired by my grandma, she's inspired by my mom or my cousin or my dad. And like knowing that the things we got to play as a video game were made us cry, and we're just like, oh, I experienced this, but it's just a character, was inspired by someone who went through that, who dealt with that, which is like, fuck, that sucks. I hate that. Because I can only imagine what that's like.
Yep. But at the same time, the fact that these developers have found a way to like honor the memory of this person and maybe make something constructive out of their own horrible feelings.
Yeah.
Is something really worthwhile.
Absolutely. Damn.
Yeah.
Listen, to Gute Fabrik, come on back. I miss you guys.
Yes, please. Yes,
There's
please.
another one.
Also, you mentioned Spiritfarer, and I'm not gonna go into it too much, but I just wanted to say, fuck you, Atul, but also I love you, Atul. You should not have just disappeared.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I guess I'll throw the time set there. I'll just put the Spirit, but we could smidge of going into it. But yeah, because I forgot Homeboy just bounces after playing the first time, because it'd been like 5 years or whatever between me playing and then replaying for the podcast. Then when we did, And I'm like, oh, cool, we're having the party. And then he's gone. I'm like, oh, you left. I hate you.
Yeah, that moment almost made it onto my list because it's that impactful. Because I get it. Like, goodbyes are hard.
Yeah.
And Atul seems like he's a guy from this generation of men who can't show their feelings. And he just avoids them. And I get it. Like, people are that way. But it still fucking sucks.
Yeah. Oh, Atul, buddy.
Yeah. But I love him.
I do love him.
Yeah.
Very fair, but I digress. So we've been talking about some sad and cool, shocking moments. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna hit you with something fucking disgusting. So anyone with a weak stomach,
oh my God,
I apologize. But this moment lives with me, and we're going through it. So, you played the Plague Tale games at all?
I started the first one, but I didn't get very far.
Yeah. I have to finish the second one. This is not much of a narrative spoiler. It's just a moment in the game, so no worries if you do plan to go back. There's a moment where you're running from the guards. You don't want to get caught. So I guess context. You're playing as Amicia. You have your little brother Hugo. He's got a whole lot of shit going on. Poor kid. But you're basically playing babysitter and protector this entire game, trying to keep your little brother alive, make sure he's not getting taken away. There's a moment where you're running from some guards and you're running through like an old like farmhouse type field area, which is just filled with dead farm animals, just everywhere. It's pretty gross. And like, you have to kind of get around them or whatever, but this all takes place during the Black Plague. So there's human eating rats everywhere, swarms, whatever went on here. They figured out how to make a water system with rats. It's pretty gross, but it's also really cool. They figured out how to do that shit. So there's a moment where you have to cross this area, this little like ditch that is filled with rats. It's not super deep, but enough that like I can't just walk past this. To your right is this old dilapidated fence that is just holding back a mountain of dead pigs. And you could see it. You can hear the flies buzzing around. And you're like, I guess this is what we have to use. You pull out your slingshot and you hit the lock so it breaks the fence. And then just an avalanche of dead pigs rolling down the hill over top of these rats. You're hearing the squeals of like the rats. I don't know how to make a rat sound, but like they're folding and you're seeing the mud splash and whatever blood residue is there. And it is absolutely vomit inducing. It is the one and only time a video game has almost made me vomit. It is, I was holding back as it's disgusting. And though it is disgusting, I was also like, shit, that was cool that a video game almost made me puke, which is weird to say, but I was like, damn, that was wild. That for me has probably been the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in a video game, let alone like this series ever. Again, I haven't finished 2, so it might get worse. But yeah, I think about that. I don't think about it a lot. It doesn't live in my head all the time. But when I think about Plague Tales, the first thing I think about is the mountain of pigs rolling down the hill. And I'm like, yeah, gross. I hate it. But also, okay. Yeah, they did the damn thing with that one. It's pretty gross, but yeah.
It does sound disgusting, but it's cool that the game is actually able to make you feel like you're there.
Yeah,
and that the pigs are real.
Nasty, bro.
I've always been really impressed with, like, for an indie game, how visually impressive the Plague Tale games are.
Yeah. And I forget. I don't know if Requiem is still indie. I don't know the status of the team. I think they're still indie, and they might just be published, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. But I was a sucker for the first game. I fell in love with it. I still have, like, I say this, like, I haven't gone back to get the platinum because it's like I beat the game and I have to go do collectibles, play through it, and pick everything up. But I want to do that because I want to finish the second one, and I think I want to replay the first to then do the second one. So that might be the time to finally get the platinum in this game, pull up with the guide and do everything, then hop into Requiem. But yeah, Plague Tale Innocence is great. I think it's been free on Epic Game Store, PlayStation. Might have been on Game Pass at one point. I don't know if it still is, but like I really like this first game, and I've loved what I played of the second. So I want to play more. They're really cool games. Sad, gross, dark.
It seems like the second game is just developed and published by the same people.
Okay.
As the first.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's indie. I think it's on the indie label. So
the publisher is Focus Entertainment, so I do.
Yeah.
Think that's more on the indie side.
We take it. We run it. We take it.
Yeah.
Listen, fucking, gross pigs. Hey, let's talk about something less gross. I hope, unless your next game has something vomit-inducing, which I'll be like, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Let me tell you about my time at Sandrock.
Oh no, I pulled up Porsche instead. I got the wrong trailer. Yeah.
No,
Sandrock. No.
It's Sandrock.
I see. I just hit the first one I saw. I didn't realize. I looked back and I saw no Sandrock. Okay. Anyway.
So basically, I haven't been playing this one myself, but I've been watching friend of the show Daphne play this one.
I'm really sorry. We're watching the video version. I'm getting an ad for Final Destination that I cannot skip while trying to pull up the Sandrock trailer, and someone's getting their tongue pierced. I'm like, please let me skip. Anyway, cute game. You were saying.
Yeah, it's the sequel to My Time at Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
And it begins with a pretty simple setting. You are a builder who travels to the town of Sandrock to begin a new life.
Yeah.
Sandrock is kind of fading away with the weather conditions being far from ideal, and people are starting to leave the town behind for good. Slowly, though, with a lot of help from the player, as is usually the case in this kind of game, the town starts to thrive again. But then, along the way, you and a secret agent discover that there is a secret plot happening right in the town.
Oh, shit.
Which is something I was not expecting from a game like this. I'm not going to go into too much detail because we'd be here for hours if I did. This is a really, really long game.
Okay.
But while you're investigating the scheme, you start to realize, like, holy shit, am I in over my head? Because all of a sudden, you're basically stuck between the town's protectors and a local and very handsome bandit, with the truth being at stake. And then, just when you think you've cleared things out, an actual army storms Sandrock.
Oh.
It's insane.
What?
Like, there's so much going on in this game.
I was like, none of that sounds real. I'm waiting for you to be like, I'm just kidding. I made that one up.
You would think so, but this game, like, I think this game is over 100 hours long.
Damn.
Just because it packs so much story. It's just so much more than I ever expected. From a game that's supposed to be like the builder version of a farming sim.
Yeah.
It's a blockbuster game. It has fantastic voice acting. It has really fun plot twists because the whole army thing isn't the only major plot twist in the game. There's tons of pop culture references in this one as well. But that army coming to town is a real what the actual fuck moment.
Yeah, honestly, that's great. This one's out, right? I have some recollection of this one being in early access. I think that's a different farming sim builder that I'm thinking about.
It has been in early access, but now it's
okay.
In
1.0. Cool. Damn, dude. That's so interesting. I never would have guessed. I would have just been like, you build the city, and eventually you're like, guys, we built all the establishments. We've done it. We've saved Sandrock. And like, keep building, I guess.
It's so much more than that. And now it makes more sense to me why in the sequel, My Time at Evershine, you won't even be a builder anymore. You're going to be a governor.
Oh, baby.
and I think it's going to be, like, there's going to be more of the war stories be involved in the game.
Jesus, these
are
evolving.
Yeah, it's like seeing what My Time at Porsche was.
Yeah,
seeing it evolve into Sandrock and then now going into Evershine. This is really cool.
Do you play as the same character in each game, or are you new guy every time? Or you like
It's a new person every time.
Got it. I didn't know if you're just like, I started as just kind of chilling, then I started building. I'm like, you know what? Let me run a country.
There's you play as a different character, but characters from each game come into the other games.
Cool. We love that. We love continuity.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because there was a Kickstarter for my time at Evershine. Where they got like, I think, over $1 million.
That's right. I do remember that. Fuck.
Yeah. And you could vote on which characters you would like to see return from Portia and Sandrock and stuff like that. We like Daphne's been playing this for me. Well, for me, she's playing it for herself, but I've been watching her play this for like months now.
Yeah.
And we just finished the story, so it was pretty emotional.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's dope. It's funny, right? And maybe this is just because of the games that I play and whatnot, but it's such my time at games are so quiet, I think, grand scale. We're like, you hear the cozy gamers talk about them, but I feel like you don't hear everybody talk about them, right? You don't get the Hades love, but you talk about this, right? We're like, we raised $1 million on Kickstarter. Like, what the fuck? People are playing these games, and maybe they're just not content heavy games. They're not things people watch and stream and everything, but they're definitely on like the quieter side of a lot of things, which is insane when you hear like the Evershine Kickstarter goals. And I hope to see that one just fucking plastered everywhere, where I was like, oh no, here we go. Now I'm hearing everybody and their mother talk about this fucking thing.
Yeah, but if people are interested in playing Evershine, I would definitely recommend playing Sandrock first. Because there's so much lore that you'll be interested to know going into Evershine.
Yeah,
there are characters that you'll meet here that are gonna be integral to Evershine's story. Yeah. Do
you feel the same way with Portia? I always forget how you say it.
I think you say Portia, but I'm not sure either.
Whichever one, cool.
But Portia is harder to go back to because the controls feel so basic compared to Sandrock's. Yeah. Story, I think watch like a recap of Portia's story, then play Sandrock, and then play Sandrock again while romancing another character.
Now you're thinking.
There's still plenty of time until Evershine releases. It's probably only going to release in 2026, so...
We'll see. Sounds like it's going to be big. I'm betting 2029, but... We'll see if we get it before In the Valley of Gods. God, I hope that game comes out. Fuck.
Oh, that game.
It's never going to happen. Campo Santo, what are we doing?
I know.
It's on a hard drive somewhere, Tofr.
It is.
Okay.
Stupid Valve.
Honestly, tell me about it, man. Thanks for making a platform for games, but dude, what the fuck? Let Campo Santo cook. But now, I got my last one. Yes. I'm gonna try and hold myself together here. This one put me in a place.
Okay.
A long place at 2 a.m, sitting with all the lights off, fucking bawling my eyes out. I love In Stars and Time.
You do.
Anyone who doesn't know what it is, it's a RPG. Yeah, RPG. Very like Earthbound coded. But you are playing as essentially a D&D party on like your last quest. You have story already built up. These characters have been together. We had the adventure. They've been picked up along the way. They're friends. They have relationships. They have stories. But you're at the end of their story. During your final quest to fight the king, your main character Sifrin dies and wakes up in the middle of the field. And you're like, what the fuck? Wait, and you're in this time loop thing, right? Of like not what I expected to happen. So you play through the game. Every time you die, you're like, cool, I learned this thing about the palace. If I go in here, don't touch this, or make sure I go left and not right. Or if I touch this thing, I'll die. If I open this thing, I'll find the key for 10 floors later. Like that's how the story works. What I'm talking about is towards the end of the game where you've kind of figured out like we've beaten the king, but like for some reason I still loop when I beat him. So what's going on? And then you think you figured out like if we beat him this time, this is what's going to happen. So for your final day before you go to fight the king, you're like, let me spend time with my party because I know it's going to make them stronger. It's going to build that relationship. I know they're going to have powers that they didn't have before. So you're like, I'm going to go talk to Bonnie. I'm going to talk to Mirabelle. You talk to all your party. And then you have Isabeau, who I think we call him Issa throughout the whole thing. He is my favorite. Anyone who watches My Hero Academia and you know Mirio, he's very Mirio coded. I love Isabeau. When you go to him, he's like, hey, go hang out with everybody first. Just come to me last. When you finally come to Isabeau after helping out everybody else, he's just like, yeah, you asked like if you need anything, come talk to me. And I really didn't need anything, but I saw you like helping, like talking to everybody else. And I was like, fuck, I'm kind of jealous. They get to hang out with Sif and I don't too. Now, the entire game, Isabeau's trying to talk to you. And it's very heavily implied. He's just like, Sif, I love you, but like can't say it, right? And you know he's going to say it, but he can't say it. So you get to his quest. You're like, hey, what do we want to do? In the middle of the night, you go like, he's like, lay down. You just start watching the stars together. You're like, why are you watching the stars? He's like, so I noticed that like whenever you like bump into something or whatever, you say something in your own language. I never knew what it meant until I heard someone else say it, and it's stars. I'm like, oh, cool. So they say stars, and I'm like, is that an exclamation? Are they just saying crap? Are they doing whatever? Are they just cussing? But I assumed you like stars, so I figured we could watch the stars together. You're like, oh, that's really cute. And he's like, I'm sorry. Am I fucking this up? Like, was this a bad idea? Was this dumb? You're like, no, you're good. This was fine. He kind of likes to recompose himself. And to like bring him back, you're like, hey, tell me about yourself. Tell me something about yourself that I didn't know. And Isabeau just lets loose on like his history, right? He's like, so where I came from when I was younger, I was like super smart and super nerdy. Like I wasn't not just like, oh, I get something, like I was a smart kid, but also I was super shy, which like I hated about myself because I didn't have friends because I couldn't talk to people. And he continues to talk. He's just like, because I was so shy and I hated myself for that, I was like, I need to become better. So he starts to train to be more muscular, stronger, more personable so he can have friends, which eventually leads him to joining the party. Where he's like, cool, this is me. But also like the nerdy character's not gone. I hated that person. I hated who I've been and just who I was born as, and I don't want to be that anymore. And now this muscular, over-the-top personality is a suit of armor to protect the nerdy character inside, right? And you're just starting to feel this like, this just fucking rip of heart, like, please don't hate yourself because I've loved you this entire fucking game, and I wish I as the player could tell you how much I love you. You just only have the options for the dialogue, which are like, that's crazy, I'm so sorry, like you don't get to talk to Isabeau. And I'm just like, fuck, you're gonna make me cry, stop. But yeah, so he's like, I got a deeper voice, I got stronger, but then he goes to tell you like change brings destruction, and you have to decide if the destruction of whatever is going to be destroyed at the chance of you changing, if that's worth it. And you're like, yeah, I think it was worth it. But then I realized that like I didn't destroy it, I just kind of put it away. And I wish I could just be me as I am now because I like me, but I liked old me. And I realize that now. And you have this fun back and forth of just like, oh, I wish I could be a jock and a nerd. And it's like, oh, so you would be a jerd or you'd be a knock, right? You know, a combination of the words. And it's dialogue options. So whichever one you pick, Isabeau's like, I think I like the other one better. Like, it's funny. And you're just like, oh, big old bastard. But like, there's the moment then where Isabeau's just like, I love being around you. And like he's talking to you as Sif, but like the player, right? He's like, you teach me something new. You tell me about theater. You make me smarter. You do these things. You do that thing. Like it just the way you chew your favorite foods, and I can hear how happy you are. And he knows so much about you. Like, fuck, why are you paying so much attention to me? Why? Just tell me you love me, so my characters that I know, but my character doesn't know. Do something. And as he has the, like, I think and then like, oh my God, a shooting star, crazy. He's like, why are you fucking distracted? Oh my God, you little ADHD gremlin, pay attention to me, say the damn thing. And then the party showed up like, oh my God, we found them. Let's have one last dinner before the big final day, which leads to the final mission. But it's just this like 15-ish minute moment of like, fuck, God damn it. He was easily my favorite character from the get-go. Continues to be my favorite character. Jared from Playlog Podcast, if you're listening to this episode, you better skip this section unless you finished in Stars and Time already, because I want to hear what your thoughts are. fuck, dude. I love this moment like so fucking much. It was the like, I enjoyed this game the entire time. It was, I got lost a little bit trying to figure out the time loop stuff and what I need to remember and not remember and where to skip in time, whatever. But like, this was such an emotional moment. Even so that early in this year, I had a friend who was directing an audio drama that was about a streamer who does self-help online and blah, blah, blah. But eventually someone calls in to like call the cops on him and be like, gotcha, sucker. Like they swat the guy. I took the scene of Isabeau talking to Sif and I wrote it out as a monologue and auditioned for the role with that. Got the lead role and then the thing just fell apart. But at least the director's playing more Kana on the weekends. So don't know what's happening. I assume the project's just scrapped. They don't answer my texts or emails anymore. So sorry, team. We tried. But either way, it would have been a cool thing. It was a cool thing. But yeah, no, I just finished this game as I auditioned for that. And it was so fresh in my head. Like I loaded a save right before that moment so I could take like the important moments and cut it out to a monologue moment. And it was something special, man. I like, it's tough, right? Because we always want to be like, play these games. When you play this game, you're going to get it. And like, this is one that I'm like, fuck, I want you to get it now. So when you play it, you're like, fuck, Danny, you're right. You're right, Doug. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit torn because on the one hand, I want to ask more questions. And on the other hand, I just want to play it and experience it for myself. Yeah, because I know you've always been pretty hype about this game, and I've had it in my Steam library since it released. I think. Yeah, and I just haven't like maybe this should be a book club thing.
Listen, I'm down
because I need to play this.
It's really great. I'm a huge fan of it, and like that's just one character story. I think there's another two. There's 3 other characters in your party. I find the 4th character is fine. Like there's nothing wrong with them. They're just nowhere near, I think, as emotionally impactful as the other 2. Isabeau being the most so. It is very much like if there was a main character besides you, it's Isabeau. Like that's the other main character. But like Mirabelle and Bonnie both have incredible stories as well that I got choked up on. And there's narrative beats throughout the whole. I probably could have picked 10 other moments throughout this game. I'm like, this was another great moment. This is another great moment. This is another sad moment. This is another happy moment. Anything that happens. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Would you say it's tremendous?
No, no, I wouldn't because that's dumb. But you know what? Yeah, this game is tremendous because there's a fucking tree. And you go to it sometimes.
I just noticed in the trailer that was playing that Isabeau made that joke.
Yeah. It's. I think I skipped over while I was just kind of but yeah, one of the things, right, where he's just like, the things I love about you is like you always have a pun. Your character just in new dialogue moments will be like, let's drop a pun in the very dad joke delivery way. Like they'll do that. And Isabeau just fucking cracks up every time. And I'm going to compare this to a high school moment. Don't judge me. There was a girl I was taking to prom. I had a crush on her, et cetera, et cetera. One of my friends it was a joke from How I Met Your Mother. It was like, what do you call a fish with no eyes? Fish, right? They tell this joke. I'm like, oh, I guess that's funny. My crush comes up and tells the same joke, not knowing we just said it, and I fucking start cackling. And as she leaves, she just like punched me. Fuck you, Danny. I hate you. You're so fucking dumb. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, I just did the thing, right? But like, I saw that in Isabeau, right? I'm like, oh, he's losing his mind because he loves Sif, and like, if I laugh at your jokes, you'll love me back, right? And I'm like, been there, Isabeau. Been there, buddy. I've done that. Been there, bro. So he's such a great character. He's so great. And then on Twitter the other day, I think is what inspired me to put him in this video. Someone put out like, a character I like is, or sorry, I said Twitter, Blue Sky. A character I like is blank, right? And then tag 3 friends. And I did Isabeau from In Stars and Time. Like, yeah, great guy, good guy. But yeah, that was my last moment. I know you have more. Did you want to skip those and get right into what we've been playing? Did you want to just rattle like
the them for another time? I think that your In Stars and Time moment is a really good moment to end the segment on.
You got it, baby. Fuck. Oh, In Stars and Time, man. What a good fucking game. I think I did time stamp, but just in case I didn't, guys, let us know in the comments what your favorite moments in any indie game are. Be them happy, sad, shocking. Okay, if you got another gross one before A Plague Tale Innocence, I'd love to hear it because I don't know if that's possible. However, we want to quickly jump into what we've been playing because we've both been playing the same game, Tofr. We have been playing Spirit Swap Lo-Fi Beats to Match 3-2.
Yes, we have.
Tell me, how you feel about Spirit Swap Lo-Fi Beats to Match 3-2?
I was surprised because I didn't expect to love a game this much so soon after finishing Citizen Sleeper 2.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. Even though I had high hopes for Spirit Swap.
Yeah.
I just couldn't fathom the idea of this game being of such a high level, but
yeah,
boy was I surprised.
Okay. Oh shit.
Yeah. How about you?
Praise. I loved it. I had a great time. I don't know that it sounds like it hit much. It's so weird, right? Because I don't want to give the impression that I did not enjoy it. It sounds like you're like in love with this game. I'm like, I really liked it. I had a great time with it. I love the character designs as someone who is an ally, LGBTQIA+, and also a person of color. Like, this one felt like, fuck, all these characters feel right. Like,
yeah,
I love seeing these characters, right? And then, like, I'll run the footage, right? Like, we have, I think Samar is how you pronounce her name. I always missed it. But she's like a plus size person, but her hair is so great. Her fit's so great. She got the parachute pants, skirt, overall, whatever thing going on. I love it. And she's your main character. You see her all the time. And I think as we like start, right, they give you, here's a tutorial, here's how the game works. I'll get to like some of the, you know, the typical gameplay. You go meet your friends on whether they're at work or hanging out at home or whatever. And they're like, this is what's going on to me. Uh-oh, the spirits are attacking. Then you play a match 3 like versus mode, which is, Connor made fun of me. I compared it to Tetris 99 to be like, oh, it's the thing of like, you do damage, it goes to the other side, it fills your screen, whatever. He's like, oh, there's games. I'm like, yeah, I know there's games for that. Just fucking let me explain the game, damn it. But yeah, I was honestly shocked. I don't know how you felt with the difficulty, or I guess starting, which difficulty did you play on?
I played medium or whatever it's called.
Spicy?
Just could be.
I think so. I know I played spicy. I don't know if that's medium, but that I played on spicy, so I think I think that's the same one.
No, I did chill. I think
chill. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
This game started like not really challenging. I kind of had a show on. I'm like, oh, cool. Well, not a show. I had a shit up on the screen. I was kind of scrolling through Twitter as I'm playing the game or whatever. And then I saw the third or fourth match where you go against the 3 girls at once, and they were kicking my ass. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, I was winning like crazy, what's happening? So I had to get like really good, like I had to focus up soon, and then I made it through the end. I'm like, okay, we're good. I just could not be distracted by anything. I had to actually pay attention and be good at this game. But it's really fun. It's just so relaxing, even when you're like, I gotta focus and be good. It's just fun, super fun.
Yeah, I think there are memes already about the polycule.
Okay.
Being a bit too tough to beat.
Yeah, okay, cool. As long as it's not just me.
No, the match 3 gameplay is a lot of fun. I like that they kind of simplified it by only being making it so that you can switch spirits horizontally.
Right. Yeah.
Compared to other match 3 type games. But on the other hand, then you get your spells that you can use.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you have 4 spirits in a square shape, you can get rid of those thanks to your spell.
Yep.
It felt so natural to play. I played it on chill mode, but I think that was a bit too easy for me. I basically won everything on the first try.
Got it.
So I'm definitely going back to try it on a harder difficulty setting.
Okay.
I have to add, we got review copies for this game.
Yeah.
But I also bought it.
Okay, bet.
Just so I can play it on my Steam Deck.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's such a blast. And the thing is, the match 3 gameplay could have been worth the price of admission alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's so much more to it than just the match 3 gameplay.
Yeah. Because I'm a sucker for match threes. I always have a match 3 game on my phone that I'm playing at any given time. I honestly could not tell you the name of the one I'm playing right now. I just know it's a match 3. But you had already mentioned, right? There's the swapping horizontal. There's no swapping vertical, which I think for me at the start was probably the hardest thing to adjust to, because I am so much, I'm like, God, I know I want to do the 5 in the row. If I drag this guy over here and I do up and down, like if you watch my gameplay, how many times I like set up a column of 4 to drag one down. I'm like, oh, right, I can't move it down. I have to build it this way, which like probably at the start was the biggest thing for me of I'm in such a headspace of how these games work that this one kind of changes that. Which is not a bad thing. Just though, if you play match 3s like I do on your phone all the time, you're like, oh fuck, my skills have to change to make this work well. But yeah, you were mentioning the other modes, right? So there's the story mode, which is fairly short. I think I beat it in about 2 hours with how many times I lost and everything, and going back in and trying again. But there's also endless mode, which is just that. You just go until you lose. And then there's the versus mode, which I didn't play any. I think it's just local. I don't know if there's online versus for this.
Just local,
okay,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and then it's typically just what the story is. You're just the 1v1. You and a friend, you each pick one of the characters, and I assume it comes with like their spell. As you beat someone in the story, you unlock their spell. Which sometimes will freeze the enemy screen. You freeze the enemy. Some like the polycule one is like, oh, any one of 3 different things could happen. You'll just, depending on, what RNGesus decides on that day. There's a bunch of different skills, and they vary on. You either build the quad of 4, you build the diamond with like the empty one in the middle. So you want the 4, or you build the X. So it's 1 and then 1 at each, caddy corner. I thought that was fun because I would never build the X on purpose. Anytime it happened, it was complete accident. I'm like, oh shoot, I did the X.
Same.
My head was just like, build the 4. We know how to build the 4 the quickest. But yeah, it's a vibe, right? And it's such a like
Absolutely.
Simple thing to say for a game that is quite literally like designed for the vibes. But yeah, I had just a great time start to finish. Even the challenging moments were never like beating my head through the wall like I can't beat this fucking game. It was just shit. All right, focus up, do better, beat it, move on to the next one.
You say it took you about 2 hours to finish the game. Do you mean that you rolled credits after 2 hours?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, rolled credits on the story. So the whole thing of getting to the concert moment, right? Of like, oh yeah, we made our we got our fun photographs in the credit roll. That I got to that. Yeah. I have not finished gone any further from that.
But the thing is, there's more. Like the game is longer after the credits than it is before.
Yep, they give you the little pop up. They're just like, see who else you can maybe flirt with or romance. I'm like, okay, I'll get back to this. So I have not done that yet. So have you gone? I have. Okay.
I have, and that's where most of my love for this game comes from.
Okay, hold on. Okay,
because there's this whole world that opens up for you. You get to hang out with friends. You get to know their personalities a lot more. You get to build relationships, and you have the choice if you want to like go for a romantic relationship with someone or with multiple people, or if you want to be friends with people. You can choose. There's always the option, and I love how this game is just so inclusive.
Yes.
When it comes to like gender identities, sexualities, but also skin color, body types, neurodivergence. It's all there. And the thing is, this game presents people as being as how should I put this? This game is built on hope. On the hope that people are good and decent and want to act out of love towards one another rather than out of fear from one another. And I love that this, I mean, I'm pretty sure that this is gonna be on the woke list as soon as the guy running discovers this game.
No shot.
But yeah, it's so lovely. Like in my written review for so many games, I mentioned this. There's like,
link should be in the description.
These people talk to one another when things don't work out. For example, your best friend Mo, she's going through like the heartbreak of a relationship that ended.
Yeah, where's she
I
at?
think I guess you're a big fan of Mo.
Listen, Mo, second best girl. I'll tell you that. Mo, God damn, dude. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm still horn dog playing this game, and I'm telling you, I'm looking at all these baddies. Mo's fine as fuck. And she's like, break up. I'm like, Mo, I'm single. I'm here. What are we doing, Mo? But we met Mo first, and then I met the real queen, which, not to get away, Mo, you still a queen. But I was like, fuck. Kedzie, who I just had pulled up there. Kedzie, however you pronounce her name. Dude, the with the unicorn, or the antlers and the glowing piercing. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait.
And the British accent.
Yeah. Oh, my God, brother. Oh, dude. Listen, I know, friend of the show, Jenny Wyndham, co-ownership of the studio that made the game. You're in trouble. You can't make fictional characters that are this goddamn bad. And I have to say, if you cosplay this lovely antlered woman, contact me.
Oh, no.
So just DMs open. But yes, no, to get back from the haha funny, sexually attracted, whatever. No, the characters are all so fucking dope, right? And like there is the character close to the end whose name I don't quite remember. The angelic, cool ass one. I'm like, hey, you're sick as shit. Yeah, I'm excited when they were like, hey, you could flirt with more people and get to know them better. I'm very excited to get back. And my first selection did not have Kedzie available, so I'm like, okay, I'll come back to this later. Had she been there, I was like, okay, I'll play now. I'll go and see what she's up to. But no, I love these characters so much, and we get moments with them, right? You get to talk to them and see what they're up to and what's going on with their life. What do the spirits do? And like, oh no, this is what you're working on. Hey, blah, blah, blah. But like, it's not a lot. It's enough to build in a relationship, but like in your first mission with them, it's kind of just like a nice to meet you as the player, as the character, you know them already. But yeah, it's like as little as we get, I'm still so invested in how awesome they all are, how funny they all are, how cool they are, how silly they can be, how over the top. Ishtar, yeah. I'm like, he's cool. I like him. He's got the fucking sexy fishnet abs hanging out there. I'm like, you know what you're about. I get you. I see you. Okay.
Yeah, but that's the cool thing. Like, Ishkar is the person that Mo was dating.
Yes.
And apparently they were best friends before they started dating. And the both of them are struggling with this new reality of like, they've stopped dating. Now what? Do they still talk to one another or not? Can they still be friends or not? And the thing is, like, in real life, often we will just not go to that other person and talk about it.
Facts.
And these characters do. And that's so refreshing to see. Like, Mo realizes, slight spoilers maybe, but right. Mo realizes that during their relationship, she also made a lot of assumptions and just never talked about the things that were on her mind with Iskandar. And it's so interesting to see, like, this is how we could be if we acted more out of love rather than out of fear. And it doesn't make these people perfect. Absolutely not. These people are messy as fuck.
Aren't we all, you know?
Exactly. And that's the cool thing about this game. It has its heart in the right place. Yeah. I think really I mentioned in my review. Let me check quickly.
Pop off.
It's a line I was quite proud of, even though it's corny as hell.
Okay, listen. If it hits,
I finished my review with "Come for the vibes, stay for the heart."
Damn, look at that. So it's that's kind of that's it, dude. Like, this is one that now that I've finished the main story, rolled credits. I don't have a super burning desire to I got to see this one through, but like it will be like, you know what? Let me chill in Spirit Swap real quick. Let's see what everyone's up to and do the thing. Like, and play a few more. I might do some of that tonight. I got some Redacted to play, but honestly, maybe I'll just play some Spirit Swap. I did want to point out this has nothing to do with our reviews. I left my Steam review. I was just like, received a copy, loved my time, really cute, great style, super. Represents a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And all morning I was seeing just positive reviews, and I saw one negative review. That was yesterday. I don't know if any more have come in, but it was some homie who was going through it. I don't know what all was happening in this person's life. I hope it gets better, but it was like a novel of why this game sucks. And it was all about like the people. I can't say I read it being like, oh, there's a homophobic, racist undertone. I don't. That's not the vibe I got. That's not what I got from it. But it was a lot of just like us Kickstarter what the fuck? Our kickback start. Fuck me. The people who paid for this game to exist. They were like, yeah, we were asking about like, when's the release? Like, do we have any details on it? And I guess there was some stuff going on with friends of the team or one of the natural disasters that we've had in these last couple of years. I can't tell you which one it was. And they were just like, sorry, the game hasn't come out because of XYZ. We wanted to make sure the lives of people came before the game. And I'm like, understandable. But they seemed to give the implication that the tone that was delivered about the whole thing was off base. I can't say that I've seen it. I can't say this is accurate or not. I don't know the validity of this person's review. It was just something that came up while I was reading through like the one negative review. That being said, anything he said about the game, he was just like, it's not satisfying enough. And maybe for someone who did back it on Kickstarter and is like, I waited 6 years for this. I can't say I'm not in that camp. As someone who did receive a review code and got to play it, I had a blast. It's great. I think it's a simple game. It's got simple mechanics, but it's got great and deep characters. And yeah, I super recommend it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that I think might hold people back is that it might not be completely finished.
Okay.
For example, I went through a couple of character arcs and got to 5 heart level, which is the maximum right now.
Okay.
And when you do that, it just says, okay, there will be more story in the future. Okay. Now you can try and date other people or just hang out with your person and play more match 3 games or whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like a finished story yet.
Got it. Okay. So sounds like more content to come. So just know. Maybe you guys can do some banging later. But right now, just kind of holding hands. Nothing too crazy. Unless there is banging. I don't know. Yet. We'll see. But hell yeah, no. Spirit Swap, Lo-Fi Beats to Match 3-2. Really cool. It's on Steam right now. And I believe it also came to Xbox, I think. Yeah. So would recommend. Check it out. If you like some nice vibes and some badass, melanated, beautiful women. And men.
And non-binary people.
Correct. My apologies. I did leave them out in the dust. I apologize, everyone. Oh, bet. But we're on hour 45, so let's wrap this bad boy up by talking about, well, not wrap it up, but get close to the end anyway, do a thing. Indies releasing this week. We're talking about the week of February 6th through February 12th. We have, 3 days have games. February 6th for PC, we have Keep Driving, which I am very excited to check out. You talked about during Steam Next Fest, and I'm like, shit, okay. I gotta haven't played the demo yet, so I gotta get to that one. Also on February 6th, we have Big Helmet Heroes coming to Steam, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. If you're a fan of Castle Crashers, big vibes. Stray Path on February 6th for PC. We have Sworn on February 6th for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Is This Seat Taken on February 10th is the PC demo, which I'm very much looking forward to. It's in my February releases. You get to play God and make sure people are sitting in their favorite seats. It's really cute. Urban Myth Disillusion Center, February 12th for PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Bullet Noir, February 12th for PC and Early Access. And then Jump King Quest on February 12th for PC. I did not read it. My gut now says I think that one was also Early Access. I forget. I don't recall seeing it on Steam, but it might be. Just know if you're getting into it, it might be an Early Access game. But regardless. Any bangers you're looking forward to on this list?
I'm really interested in Stray Path.
Okay.
Which is a free cell based roguelike deck builder.
Okay.
I'm always up for a roguelike deck builder, but my attention this week will mostly be on Keep Driving and Urban Myth Dissolution Center.
Okay. Yeah, that looks fun. Keep Driving specifically. Disillusion that we talked about. I think it was also, I assume, Steam Next Fest. It was somewhere along the line. Yeah, that definitely looks like a dope one. Keep Driving's on my radar. I don't know. I've been getting Instagram ads for Big Helmet Heroes. And for a while, I was kind of skipping past it because it was giving like Boom Beach, like mobile game ads. I'm like, I'm not going to play this one.
I get that. Yeah.
It was a dope cutscene, but I'm like, the gameplay won't follow up. But then I was doing my research for games releasing this week. I'm like, oh, wait, no, I'm seeing gameplay now. And this looks fucking fire. Like it is 3D
right?
Castle Crashers. Yeah. 2-player, not 4, which I'm hoping 4-player comes eventually, but 2-player still, like, this game looks cool. I have emailed and Instagram DM'd the devs being like, hey, any chance you're doing review codes? Because I wouldn't mind. But no response. Well, hold on. Double check. Where's my Tofr? I've lost my phone. Here it is. Hold on. Let's check Instagram. They respond. Instagram. 6 DMs. None of which from the devs. Never mind. Okay. So. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to Big Helmet Heroes. That one looks cute. But also, yeah, keep driving. Part of me, and then yeah, the demo for Is This Seat Taken? Like I said, is it's a wholesome games published title. It's gonna come to mobile when it comes out. The demo's just on Steam. But yeah, it's just really cute. You just get these little squares and diamonds. They're just like, I want to sit by the window. So you put them by the window. Then the next guy's like, I want to make sure the guy next to me doesn't stink. And then you look at the bus. There's a guy like, oh, I haven't showered in 15 years. You're like, okay, so I can't sit you next to him. So I got to go over here, right? Then you get to the restaurant like, I want a burger. So you put him at a spot with a burger. You get to the theater like, I need a clean seat. And then someone's like, I need a spot where I can steal popcorn. So you got to put somebody next to somebody who has popcorn so they can steal popcorn throughout the movie. I'm like, aw, this looks fun. This looks really cute. So I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that one comes out sooner. But the demo at least is going to hold me off. I'm excited to check it out.
Yep.
But now we move into our indie spotlight where we want to round out the show by highlighting an underrated indie or a game that is upcoming. Tofr, this week is your turn. You got to tell us about this game right here.
I want to talk about Across the Grooves. It is a beautiful visual novel by Novabox, the developers behind Sears Isle, Along the Edge, Echoes, and End of Lines. You follow Alice, who receives a vinyl record from her ex. This record transports her to a moment from their shared past. But when she comes back to the present, she finds that it's been changed. She sets out on an adventure that takes her all across Europe, trying to set things straight by listening to more records and reliving more of her past. The music in this game, as you might expect from a game all about music, is stunning. As are the visuals. I'm a really big fan of like this kind of like, I don't know how to describe it really.
It's very painterly, like, sketchy. Yeah. Really warm colors.
That style. Yeah. The writing is of high quality as well. With I believe that Finger Guns even mentioned that they thought this game was in line with Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, Gone Home, and What Remains of Edith Finch.
Shit, okay.
Yeah, that's high praise, right? But somehow, despite the game turning 5 this year, it has yet to reach 100 Steam reviews.
Damn.
So let's change that.
Yeah, team. If you have it, review it. It was really funny, right? Because you'd put it in the doc. I was like, I'm going to look at this. And I looked at it, and I'm like, it reminds me of another game, and I can't think of the name. Did not check the devs to find out they're the same. Along the Edge. I've not played, but there was, I wish I could remember the name of the service. It was this Netflix type thing for indie games.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Right. And I could not for life of me think of what that shit was called. But Along the Edge was one of like the title, like every time you open the app, the image was right there. I'm like, I love the art style. I can't wait to try this one out. And then the app just like disappeared one day from my computer. I'm like, oh.
Yep.
Where'd it go? I thought I had to uninstall it. I don't know. Anyway, it's gone now. So I never got to play it. And then, I saw this. I kept thinking of that. And I could not think of the name. And you mentioned it. I'm like, that's the one. It's the same guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just cool. I wanted to highlight them because I've noticed that they're struggling a bit. They last year they re-released their first game, Echoes.
Okay.
And it is sitting at 5 user reviews at the moment.
Got it.
Which is kind of depressing.
Yeah. Also, End of the Lines. I got a review code for Switch. I have that one too. Damn. You gotta make some like their art style is gorgeous. I love it. I love that painterly thing. I don't even know what kind of like I would say acrylic, but it's not really that. I don't know. It's cool. Someone more artistically tell me what that is.
Yes.
But yes, guys, check out Across the Grooves. If you have it on Steam, leave a wish list or leave a wish list if you're going to get it. Leave a Steam review. Help them bump those up a little bit, please. But with that, just before the 2-hour mark, Tofr, it's time to wrap it up and say goodbye to our lovely viewers. Mm-hmm. Everybody, thank you so much for watching this episode of Playlog. If you enjoyed, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment. What was your favorite indie game moment? What games are you looking forward to playing this week? Have you played Spirit Swap? If you're looking forward to it, let us know. Of course, if you want to follow us, you can Tofr. Tell them where they can find you.
They can find me through my Linktree, which is Play Nice Kids in one word. I'm just going to quickly plug the Citizen Sleeper podcasts I was on once again. They are also down in my Linktree. There's a full review for Spirit Swap on so many games right now, and by the time the podcast goes live, there should be a review of Keep Driving there as well.
Hell freaking yeah, which I'm sure we'll talk about next week, or some combination. We'll figure out. I'll talk about some Keep Driving because I'm looking forward to playing it.
Yeah, me too.
And then, of course, you guys find me at CGDannyB all across the interwebs as I sit here maniacally playing with my beard for some reason. I'm not sure what that's about. I did not take ADHD medicine now. I did not take it today. So this might be the after effects. We're going to see. I'm just touching shit. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. You're beautiful and lovely. And we'll see you next week for whatever we have on the schedule. I forgot what we're talking about next week. Bye.